Hello everyone, let's make this cute adorable lion. So first off you're going to take however much you want for its body. This is going to determine the size of the lion. So I've gone quite big here, as you can see. Roll it into a ball, make one end into a cone, and then you want to push it onto the table with one of your hands pushing in slightly at the middle. This will give you like a little bit of a belly. Pop that to one side and pop a cocktail stick through the middle. You can also use a skewer or a bit of dry pasta here. Take another of the same colour and roll it for the legs. What you want to do is make sure you've got enough for both legs here. Roll it all evenly and then cut it in half at an angle. The reason why we cut it at an angle is so that it sits properly underneath the body. So just soften that sharp edge. And then on the other end, you need to push it down onto the table at an angle like so. I'm just going to hold it up here so you can see it a bit closer because I am quite far away from the camera there. I do notice. There we go. So you just want to pop it at that end, and that's the sort of movement that you want to make onto the table. Do the same for the other leg. Check that they're both the same. You can always chop off a little bit extra on one of the legs if they're not quite the same, and then you pop your body on top of that. If it misshapes while you're sticking them on, just give it another quick roll in your hand like I did there. I'm just going to use a bit of edible glue to stick that, but you can use a bit of water if you haven't got edible glue. This might be a good time to pop something behind the figure just so that it stays sat up a little bit. And I'm going to poke a hole for his belly button. You can also draw a line up the middle, which I do off camera. You also want to do the same again, but for the arms. Slightly thinner this time. I've moved straight onto the head here. I don't know what happened, but somehow I lost the footage for the arms. So I just thought I'd add that in with the legs so you don't forget to add them on. Okay, so now when you make the face, you want a nice round oval shaped face. And then you want two small balls and you put them quite low down on the face. As you can see here, they're almost at the very bottom. And then above that, you need a little bit of pink, and below a little bit of orange. Here you go, you can see it a bit better here. Now I'm going to take a Dresden tool, which looks something like this. It's got flat on one end and curved on the other end. And I just pop it in and push it with the flat end facing up underneath the two balls, and then with the flat end facing down above the two balls, and this is going to create the eyes and the mouth. So this is the movement that you want to make when you put the eyes in. You just push it in and then roll it up. Fill those two holes with some white. And then pop that to one side for a moment. I haven't got quite enough here, so I'll add a bit extra in. So you can either use icing sugar or corn flour. I've used icing sugar here so I can show you a variety of different things, but I actually prefer corn flour. Now you want to take some brown or whatever colour you'd like the lion's mane to be. Roll it out quite thin, but substantial enough to stand up on its own. You'll see what I mean in a minute because this wraps around the back of the head. I actually cut this a bit too small and then had to replace it with one bigger. So always go bigger than what you think. A bit of edible glue. Couldn't think what that was called then. And then we're going to add it onto the back of the head. As you can see here, I do stretch and pull it out a little bit and move it around, but actually I'm not happy with that, so I end up getting a bigger bit in a moment. But let's move on to the ears so we don't keep you too long. So for the ears, you want to make a really small teardrop shape and push it into a hole on the side of the head. For the lions, they are quite high up on the head. Normally when you're making figures, you try and line the ears up with the nose. Again, lost the footage, but I luckily did have some for this little tiger. So as you can see, I've just pushed a ball into those ears, and then we're moving on to the eyes, and this time we're doing it with the monkey. I do find if you pop a little hole in the eyes like so, then when you put your coloured fondant in to make the iris, they stay where you want them to stay. You'll see I have a bit of trouble here. Look, I've just dropped it. There we go. It went straight in the ear. So you want to keep them fairly equal sized and put them in the same place on each eye. Unless obviously you want a cross-eyed monkey or lion, in which case you put them in different spots. Once you've got the colour in, you go even smaller again, this time with the black to create the pupil. Here's a top tip coming up here. Once you get the black in, you want to take your smallest ball tool and push a hole overlapping the black and the brown. You'll see when I hold the monkey up in a moment. And then you want to get a small hundreds and thousands sprinkle in white and push that into the hole. A lot of people draw these on or make them really tiny out of fondant, but I find these hundreds and thousands sprinkles work like a charm. And I will just hold the monkey up to show you. And here's the lion all finished. I did add some hair, and like I said, his arms need to go on before his head. Somehow I lost the footage for that. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like, share or subscribe, or all three. If I've missed anything, pop a question down below. I'll be back with the other animals from the cake. Hopefully see you soon.